Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business of Business podcast. I'm Roy. Hey, we're going to introduce you again today to Bobby Machado. He is with Signa Marketing. We're going to start our second series. It's digital marketing series, and we're going to talk about SEO. We'll have about 4 episodes that'll help step us through this process. And already in our pre-show talk, I'm already feeling beat down. This is one area that I know that I struggle with, and I know a lot of people do, wondering what is the right thing to do. How can we do it better? And so, Bobby, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us and talk about this. This is going to be a great series.
Oh, absolutely. No, happy to do these. These are always fun.
Okay, well, great. Well, I guess let's talk about, in this first episode, we're just going to get with the basics. Is that, what is SEO? Why should we even care about it? And some of us that have trouble spelling SEO, how are we going to be able to carry this out? So we'll just let you start at the very beginning and go from there.
Awesome. Sounds great. Yep. So why SEO? So at the end of the day, if someone has a question, a need, especially if it's an urgent need or anything like that, it is, almost second nature now to just go to a search engine to find your answer or the help that you're seeking for. And so that's why, from a business perspective, as business owners, if we're looking for really efficient ways to get in front of our end consumer and in a channel where there's high urgency, meaning, that lead is hot or warmer in that sense, then that's why search engine optimization can be so powerful for a business, because you're actually getting in front of users organically that are actively searching for your product or service or the answer to the issue. And so that's why SEO is so important and why it can be so beneficial for businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also too, maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago, it was much more simple because, you may be one of the few people in your space. And I think this is why it's grown to be so important, is that there's just so much noise out there that we have to be able to separate our good content that's meaningful from just the noise and the clickbait of other things that are out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And search engines, that's why they're always constantly making updates to the algorithm, literally on daily, even testing portions of it and so on, because their end goal is to meet the end consumer, and the end consumer is the searcher. And so the more relevant and quicker that these answers can be given to an end user, then that's how the search engine knows it's doing a great job. And so, and it's always looking at human behavior of how us humans are, trying to figure out these issues or find the right provider, stuff like that,
Right.
that they can better match, our inquiries. So yeah, but that's why SEO is so important, because, but it's also why, a lot of businesses that get into SEO find it maybe difficult to get rankings and stuff like that up front, because yeah, it's a market. There's only 10 positions on the first page of Google, and everyone's fighting for them. So that's why it can get pretty competitive. And so it comes down to understanding, what are the key factors that we need to be focused on as business owners to make sure that we're placing ourselves in the best position to attain rankings.
Yeah. I think it's a good time to say this, and we will probably mention it through all these episodes, that you really need to listen to honest, ethical people like Bobby when they give you advice, because I think they call it black hat, but if I'm wrong, but there's so many people that will try to tell you how to take a shortcut or how to buy your way, not actually purchase the top rankings, but actually do some other things to try to help you gain SEO. Typically, and I'll let you expound on this, Bobby, but typically those things will backfire on you, and you will end up in Google jail, where they just won't send you any traffic.
Yeah, well, there's certain tactics like, there's even like traffic farms or stuff like that, where you get a bunch of, inflated fake organic traffic to hit your site, because there's certain factors that an effort for that. So, for example, just for context, when you're starting to get rankings and traffic organically, and historically you see a page having a low bounce rate, people that enter that page start to navigate to other pages of the website, et cetera. This is what we call historical analytics, that search engines do analyze and see that, okay, we gave traffic to this page, and we actually saw the performance that's actually positive. So therefore, we're going to start to rank it even higher. It compounds like that. So if you're doing a traffic farm of fake traffic hitting the site, which is going to be 100% most likely a bounce rate, they're going to leave, and it's a compound effect negatively where Google says, oh, okay, well, there's a ton of traffic, but it's really hitting the page and leaving. So this page is obviously like something's bad here. And so that's why it's important not to practice black hat strategies, or even stay away from the gray hat where it's, where you're trending in the middle strategies. It's the right way is difficult, takes a lot of time and resources, but that's why we call it digital PR, because you are naturally truly trying to build your online PR in that sense, and that will last for a long time. It's not something that would just go away tomorrow type of deal. So
yeah, and I think you make a good point. This is something that we need to start today and build. It's going to take some time to get everything dialed in, and we just have to stay on top of it. But if we do the right thing and we follow good advice, like you're going to give us through this series, then we should be able to, rank higher, closer to the top than what we are now, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's something that from day one of your business, you want to start thinking foundation wise. At least start building the foundation from an SEO perspective the right way, because it always costs more money to have and resources to have to fix things in the long run. So make sure that even if you're on a tight budget, make sure that you're starting at least on the right foundation, because over the longevity, it is going to be much more efficient time wise, and then of course budget wise too. When it comes to SEO, in terms of people ask, okay, or business owners specifically in this case, who is it for? Do I need to be investing in SEO? My answer is, if you have a product or a service that people are actively searching for online, then you need to be investing in SEO. Organic traffic is one of the most efficient forms of traffic out there, and it's something that once you get rankings and you've nurtured that authority to attain those rankings and that traffic, I mean, you're getting traffic while you sleep, and so that's why it's efficient. And that's who it's for. It's for business owners or anyone that has something to provide, and that they know that people are actively searching for it. So that's who SEO is for.
Yeah, because it's changed. I think back in the early days, it was build it and they'll come because there wasn't that much out there. But nowadays, that's totally not there. And we had a site we were working on that we prematurely put up, and it got zero traffic. So I mean, I can attest to the point that if you don't dial in your SEO and do some things you need to do, that people will not come. We had 0 hits on it. We weren't ready, and we eventually took it down, but we found out that it had been posted for a while with nothing going on. So I can't stress how important that watching your SEO is going to be to drive traffic. And if we've got a web presence at all, that's exactly what we put our web pages up there for, is we want some kind of attention, some kind of traffic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's all forms of traffic. There's paid traffic, there's email referral traffic, there's social media referral traffic, and then you have organic SEO in terms of organic traffic. And so all these channels of traffic, you're always making sure that it's matched to business goals, or at least some type of objective. Right. For example, if you have blog posts that you're ranking high to attain top funnel traffic, you want a way to nurture that traffic, to capture it and convert it into somehow. I mean, are you going to convert it straight into a business lead? It could happen, but most likely you want to nurture it and at least maybe go on a date first. And so you can provide something of value. It could be a lead magnet of a checklist, an ebook, or something to provide free value. But that's how you start to build a relationship, because if you even convert organic traffic with lead magnets, then you can get their contact information, get them in an email sequence, and nurture them from there. And then, go all the way to marriage, which is the sale.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's really mapping out and thinking about, okay, these traffic channels, how am I going to convert them to the end goal?
Yeah. So where would we even begin with this process?
So starting with the process is identifying your market on search engines. One of the main way to do this, of course, is through keyword research, because what you're trying to do is identify what are what are most likely, the keywords that a user is searching for that's related to my product or service, or answer if it's a blog post that you're answering something, and see how much search volume is behind it. Because that's how you're able to vet, okay, is there interest around this topic, or is there a need around this? How many people are searching this key phrase per month? And one free common tool to use is Google Keyword Planner that you'll find in a Google Ads account. And you can get historical keyword data of how many people are searching a certain keyword, and see how competitive it is from a cost per click standpoint. Because that's also an indicator too. If the cost per click is pretty high, it means that you have advertisers buying it, which is an indication that it's of value, that it's a keyword that has some buying intent behind it.
Okay, cool.
So you want to start doing with keyword research, because the keyword research is what actually drives the decision making of content, of which pages should exist, which pieces of content should exist, et cetera. And so it's always going to start from a keyword research standpoint, but using a tool like Keyword Planner is definitely very common. If you want to take it up a notch and use the paid tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs are really powerful for doing keyword research as well. So if you want to take it up a notch, those tools are available too.
Okay, awesome. Well, this is going to be our first episode. We're going to do 3 more. And do you have anything else that you want to add before because I was just going to rattle off these other topics unless you have something else.
Yeah, no, actually, I think that this wraps up the introduction to SEO. We're going to pick up where we left off with the keyword research aspect and how that drives the on-site optimizations.
Okay. Yeah, great. The next episode will be on-site SEO, and then we've got off-site SEO will be episode 3, and then episode 4 will be re-optimizing or redesigning an existing site. So please stay tuned, check in. What we'll do is release these on Thursdays on our off cycle with our major episodes. So also want to say, go back. We did 4 episodes on YouTube advertising. And so go back, check those out. They were probably in the month of, coming through the month of February. So Bobby, as usual, thank you very much. Tell everybody how, of course, they can reach out and get you there at Signa Marketing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Roy. So if you have any questions or anything like that at all, we're actually able to answer questions even in public forum through a YouTube show that we call Blueprint. You can find us and submit questions through any of our social media channels. Just at Signa Marketing is our handle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And we're more than happy to take questions, and I'm always able to provide them on the show.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Bobby. We look forward to talking to you again next week. Of course, this is the Business of Business podcast. You can find us at www.thebusinessofbusinesspodcast.com on all the major social media. And of course, these episodes will be released on YouTube as they become available. So until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your business.